There were no denominations in the book of Acts. They all preached the same thing.
If you ever see someone say something like this, you should know they have no idea what they're talking about. As early as we have records from Christians, we have records of disagreements between Christians as to division of resources, the rules you're supposed to live your life by, how salvation is achieved. In Paul's letters, we see Paul complaining about those that he calls super apostles. These were other Christian evangelists who thought that they had authority while Paul didn't, and they thought that all Christians should be circumcised. We see Paul disagreeing with Peter at Antioch about eating arrangements and something having to do with Jewish dietary laws, although we don't understand exactly what they disagreed about. In the book of Acts, we see James, the head of the church in Jerusalem, arguing that Christians should abstain to meat sacrificed at pagan altars. But in Paul's letters, we find him saying, yeah, if it's not making anybody else stumble, food sacrificed at altars is really meaningless because those other altars are to non-existent gods. If the letter of James in the New Testament is authentic, it suggests that James and Paul didn't understand each other and disagreed about how to articulate the gospel. The author of the Gospel of Matthew writes that not all those who cry, Lord, Lord, will make it into the kingdom of heaven. Why would it say this? Because there are other Christians, people crying, Lord, Lord, to Jesus, that it doesn't believe are going to be saved. Now, it's true that the book of Acts whitewashes a lot of this disagreement in early Christianity. But even the book of Acts can't obscure all the disagreements. As a matter of fact, it gives us insight into at least one more. It talks about dispute between the Hebrews and the Hellenists. This appears to be a fight between homeland Palestinian Jewish Christians and foreigner diaspora Jewish Christians over money in the early church. And while it suggests that the dispute was solved amicably, the fact that everybody put in charge after the dispute was from the diaspora Jewish Christian camp suggests that there was something of a power play that worked out in the early church. In fact, all of the insistence in the Bible that keeps saying, no, there really is only one gospel, only one church, really points to the fact that there were disagreements. You only find people emphasizing on a point this much if the point is in contention. And in the Bible, you see Christians doing what Christians have, for the most part, done ever since, which is insisting that there is only one gospel, and it's the form that their community preaches. So if by denominations we mean different groups of Christians disagreeing with each other, yeah, by the time of the book of Acts, there were lots of different Christian denominations. And that makes sense. We're human beings. Organizing us is like herding cats. But the idea of one church, one gospel is an ideal, a myth. It might be something Christians always wished for, but it's never anything that they had.